I stand here today not to say Gentra why, but Gentra who? Not us, not anymore.
I'm Sharronda Willams, and welcome to Prime Video Recaps. Welcome to Prime Video Recaps, where I will be recapping some of our favorite Prime Video original titles in order for you to catch up before binging a new season. With Harlem Season 2 premiering on February 3rd, I thought you might need a little reminder of what happened on Season 1 of Harlem. Harlem follows a group of stylish and ambitious best girlfriends in Harlem, New York City, the mecca of Black culture in America. Camille is a popular young anthropology professor at Columbia with extensive knowledge of the dating norms of many cultures, but has a hard time navigating her own love life. Ty is a successful queer dating app creator who prefers keeping vulnerability and romantic partners at arm's length. Quinn is a hopeless romantic and trust fund fashion designer who is trying to give back to the world while running a struggling business. Angie is a confident, vibrant, and filter-free singer and actress who also lives rent-free and fabulously with Quinn. Together, the four level up from their 20s into the next phase of their careers, relationships, and big city dreams. In episode 1, we are introduced to Camille, Quinn, Angie, and Ty, a group of friends who met in college. Camille is a professor at Columbia University who is currently trying to find a permanent full-time position so she can move up the educational corporate ladder. She lets her boss Robin know that she's receiving offers from other institutions, but Robin tells her that she is working on a plan to make her full-time. In the meantime, Camille finds herself in a sticky situation as one of her students is looking to be more than just a teacher's pet. As if that isn't enough, Camille ends up seeing an old boyfriend, Ian, who is back in town years after their breakup. Camille is able to avoid crossing paths with him, but we know that won't last long. Attempting to take control of her love life, she calls her persistent student after he dropped her course, which may have been a mistake. Angie is still struggling after a record deal went wrong and is not actively singing, which lands her on Quinn's couch as she is between gigs and needs a place to stay. After a blow-up with Quinn, Angie decides to get back out there and perform at an open mic. Quinn is currently trying to run her business as a fashion designer, but is still struggling in the dating department. She goes on a date where the guy steals her purse and stiffs her with the bill. Ty, on the other hand, is the owner of a queer dating app that is quickly becoming one of the highest performing dating apps out there, leading her to even more success. In her dating life, though, Ty has a revolving door of love interests. In an effort to change her dating habits, she decides to date someone more like her, which in the beginning has its benefits, but not for long. Ty ends up trying to break up with her current situationship, but is beat to the punch when her lover does it instead. She bounces back quickly after hooking up with a new woman, but is disturbed when she leaves and eats Ty's food before ditching her. Angie goes to a meeting about a potential role in Get Out the musical, but quickly declines. Quinn is frustrated because she has to ask her mother for more money after her landlord raises the rent again at her shop. Her mother decides to help, but not without giving some quick shade. Her mother introduces her to Isabella, who is running for Congress and thinks she could be a good mentor for Quinn. Camille's love life is turned upside down as she sees her ex Ian again out in an open mic. Let's just say the breakup didn't go too well. She dodges him, but not for long, as they both attend an engagement party of an old friend. It is then that she finds out Ian is not only back in town for good, but he is also with his new girl Mira. That doesn't stop their chemistry though, as the two reconnect first through conversation, and then the two old flames kiss right as Mira comes outside and interrupts. Ian later shows up at Camille's doorstep to clear the air. Camille asks Ian to give their relationship another try as he delivers the bombshell news that Mira isn't his girlfriend, but his fiancée. Camille is then given more bad news as she finds out her boss Robin has been fired, which causes her potential full-time promotion to be placed on hold until her boss's replacement arrives. Camille is still stunned by the news of Ian's engagement and spirals, but her friends show up to get her together. She ends up meeting with her boss Robin's replacement, Dr. Pruitt, and does not make a great first impression. Ty is ready to do her Forbes interview for the profile on her until she realizes her stolen beef and broccoli one-night stand was her interviewer for the Forbes profile. Angie ends up on a date with her Uber driver until she forgets to get his number. Camille discovers one of her favorite restaurants is being gentrified and decides to stage a protest against it, but realizes that Ian is the head chef of the restaurant. Ian and Camille have a huge blowout, which Dr. Pruitt overhears. Camille is really struggling to make a good impression on her. Dr. Pruitt asks Camille to speak on a panel where she meets Jameson, a social activist and potential love interest. Camille and Jameson end up bonding over their love of Red Lobster and even have a fun first date at an arcade. That is, until their late night hookup leads Camille to missing her meeting with Dr. Pruitt. Quinn discovers a new romance by the name of Sean, who she met at a party where he was dancing. Angie decides to give Get Out the musical a try, where she meets fellow colleague Eric. In order to stay in the show, she has to find a way to make enough money to become a part of the union. She ends up taking a job as a Jamaican nanny from one of Quinn's clients, Jill, to help pay for her union card. Camille discovers after their romantic night that Jameson cyberstalked her to ensure he could swoon her. She leaves upset since their date made her miss her meeting with Dr. Pruitt. She tries to make things right, but she loses her first assistant position to her student, Nora. My girl is really struggling at these first impressions with her boss. Ty ends up dating Anna after her Forbes photo shoot, but begins to feel like she is a sellout for dating outside of her race. Quinn wakes up next to Sean after her one-night stand. Things were going great until they're caught in bed by Sean's kid. Camille has a run-in with Ian's mom and gets invited to her retirement party. Sean makes an impression as he gets Ian's fiancée Mira to hire Quinn to design her wedding dress. This doesn't sit too well with Camille though. Camille decides to give Jameson another chance and go on another date with him, while Ty decides to end things with Anna. Angie is deep into Get Out the musical rehearsals, which will make you hear Sunken Place in a different tone. Angie and her castmate Eric decide to become friends with benefits for the winter. Quinn is visited by her mom, who needs help styling Isabella. They hit it off and she invites her to a fundraiser prom. She goes with Sean and they actually have a good time until Quinn lies about how she knows him. Quinn apologizes in a creative way to win Sean back. Camille invites Jameson to Ian's restaurant soft opening and things get a little awkward.
Camille's here and she brought someone? Y'all are so damn messy.
Oh, wow.
Camille and Jameson decide to make things official, even though he leaves in a few months. Of course, this is the opportune time when Ian decides to message Camille asking if they are making a mistake. Ty is in serious pain and tries to ignore it until she passes out on the train. Camille is worried after finding out Dr. Pruitt has been interviewing outside candidates for the associate professor role. Camille and Jameson are growing closer together, and Dr. Pruitt tells Camille that she can't endorse her for the associate professor position. Quinn is still clashing with her mom as she doesn't support her aspirations as a clothing designer. Tensions rise on the set of Get Out the musical, causing Angie to be wronged. Ty is misdiagnosed and passes out again, landing her in the hospital. She had a ruptured ovarian cyst and had to have emergency surgery. The doctors discovered more cysts and recommended a hysterectomy without exploring any additional options. We then learn from the doctor that Ty actually has a husband who gave the okay to perform the surgery. Not even Ty's friends knew until Brandon walked through the door. We then cut to 5 years in the past to see what the ladies were up to in their lives. Camille and Ian were preparing for their move to Paris. Before they were set to leave, Camille makes a decision to break up with Ian and stay in New York City. Ty was working for an app company, and let's be honest, she was not enjoying it. Ty was in a year-long relationship with Melissa, and she asked her to move in. Ty tells Melissa the truth about Brandon, but Melissa was not okay with revealing a secret so late in their relationship and broke up with her. Angie has money, y'all, and she is living her best life as a singer. She has her own place and a driver. Her record label is shut down and she ends up losing her record deal. Quinn was living the corporate life as a VP, and her mom was actually proud of her. She had her man Damien, but she wasn't fulfilled, so she quit. The girls see Angie's plate and they absolutely hate it. Ian asks Camille to help him pick out art for his restaurant. Things are okay until they're robbed at the end of their night. Ian professes his love to her and they almost kiss, but they're interrupted. Quinn volunteers to babysit JJ, Sean's son, for him. She takes JJ to bowl with Isabella. Isabella and Quinn almost kissed, and I don't think this is a mentor relationship anymore. Dr. Pruitt hired someone else for the associate professor position, which left Camille down, but Jameson asked her to move to Chicago with him. Brandon is staying with Ty and going out of his way to not sign the divorce papers. Brandon goes off on Ty and they get into a heated argument and he threatens to go after her money. Angie is offered one of the lead roles in Get Out the musical, but their happiness is quickly taken away after they find out the play was not sanctioned, so they canceled it. Quinn finishes Mira's dress and realizes she may be into Isabella. Quinn and Camille get drunk, and Camille shows up at Dr. Pruitt's home to go off on her and quit. Quinn shows up to Isabella's campaign headquarters and asks her out on a date, and she says yes. Quinn drops Mira's wedding dress off and Camille and Ian see each other, and she tells him she still loves him, and they kiss with Mira looking above. There you have it, everything you need to know about Season 1 of Harlem. Don't forget, Season 2 of Harlem will premiere on Prime Video February 3rd. Once again, my name is Sharronda Willams, and thank you for watching Prime Video Recaps.